On this video, we install a two-post car lift in our shop. Hopefully the right way. Seems to work. So as long as I can remember, I have wanted a two-post car lift in my life of my own that I could clog up with whatever project that I want. And oops, you may have seen it. A while ago, let's see, backstory time. A while ago, I helped my dad salvage some items from the old Cadillac dealership on Franklin Road here in Roanoke. And, oops. And among the things that we got out of there, I made an offer for 6 two-post Forward brand car lifts. And I sold four of them, gave one of them to Wyatt and kept one for myself. A 10,000-pound two-post asymmetric car lift from 1997 that was extremely well maintained. And it has finally come time to install it and set it up here at Lift Arc. So in this video, I install a two-post car lift. Okay, now you can put this in later, Walker. Here's the progress so far. We've got the lift in. So basically, oh, this is probably the first time you've seen this too. I'm talking to YouTube right now. Yeah. This is good.
You guys keep it down.
This is good.
Keep the chit chat.
So all the people that were excited to hear about my lift, you tell them why they're having to wait so long.
You need to wait.
Why are they waiting so long? What are you doing?
Because I am making the boat faster.
I'm making it taller.
I'm putting holes in it.
Yeah, we know, buddy.
But they're speed holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for when you're
bottom.
carrying it. Yeah, speed holes.
Hey, we didn't say what direction. We just said we were going.
We just said faster.
Well, carry on. Tell them what's so interesting about what you're doing.
Oh, I'm getting ready for A's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I need to look at our torch.
They're full.
Yeah. Well, like what tips we have?
I have a brazing tip. You might have to change the torch body to the smaller one. Yeah.
But you can do a little bracing.
For Spike's desk. Does Spike know how hard you're working?
I'm actually, that's part of it. I think I'm gonna metal stamp. Spike, I worked really hard on this. So he will know.
Yeah.
He will know. When it's all said and done, he will know.
It'll be right between his arms and the
Just
keyboard
forever.
every day.
Turn around. I'll just always be standing looking at it.
I'm so glad you guys are making the boat faster. Carry on.
Carry on.
I'll be real quick. Okay, so anyway, the lifts are in. We've decided on this back left corner. Obviously, there were 2 stacks of pallet racking against the wall, one of which we've reassembled right here in the middle of the shop because Steve is downscaling the amount of time he's spending in here. So we've reclaimed some space. We're gonna make a workbench down here. So we pretty much have a straight shot from the doors back into this lift. It's a little bit against the wall, but not all the way, so we can get to it. Here are our arms. Asymmetric lift, meaning two of the arms are longer than the other. That's the brand forward, and it is a DP10A 10,000 pound capacity lift. I've drilled 12 holes in our concrete slab and used epoxy adhesive, anchor epoxy, to drive 12 8-inch, 10-inch, 3/4-inch all thread studs into the ground. The epoxy's drying now. The posts are parallel to each other, but now that the anchors are in, I can shim everything and get it plumb and happy, and then start hooking back up the hydraulics, running the cables, and then running power to it. There is a chance, it is mighty slim, but there is a chance in the next hour this thing might be moving. Whoa! Get subscribed, hit the bell, find out. Or just skip to the end of the video to see if you're gonna be disappointed, nerds. Okay, bye. Aaron needs dead silence. All right, so I've installed the cables into the lift and I'm tightening them. So I've been going off of a diagram here. The purpose of the cables is so that the left and right carriage move in sync, regardless of power, regardless of what's moving them. They will move together. They are effectively connected. So cables start here, they go down around a pulley, up through that pulley, across the side, down that pulley, and then attach to the other carriage. This whole unit here is the carriage, this floating member inside. Right now the carriages are sitting on the bottom safety rack per the instructions, and that's how we remove them as well. And so you can see how the cables are routed. And then I'm reading here, cables must remain at the same height while the cross cables are being tightened. Over-tightening of one cable could raise the carriage in the opposite leg and cause the carriage safety latches to be out of sync. Take out the slack. Alternatively, tighten the cable nuts at both carriages until the cables are tightened. Correct tension in the cables is indicated by approximately 1/4-inch deflection on the cable in the leg when pulled at its midpoint. So that would be this cable here. Much more than a 1/4-inch deflection right now, so that one's a little tighter. So I'm going to continue to tighten these. Tighten them by putting a wrench on this hexagonal shaft and then getting a socket around this bolt, which is kind of annoying because the cylinder's in the way a little bit, but I'm using a flex head socket and a wrench, this guy here, to reach underneath. So I'll be tightening these cables, like turning the nuts, like, you know, 10 degrees at a time until they're relatively tight. And then the test you do is you pick up one carriage here with the forklift and that one should move at the exact same time. So that will be the test I do once I feel like I've got these cables tightened. And of course, this is not the initial setup. These things have been set up before. So I'm also working with visual cues, which is like things that you can see that might tell you where things were, like the color and the condition of the threads. You know, you might be able to see where the nuts used to be living on these studs. So they're subtle, but there are going to be signs, and kind of that goes with any type of reassembly of any sort of mechanism. If it was working when you took it apart, there will be evidence of how to put it together the correct way. But everything, you know, yesterday was a big day. Everything's bolted down. It's super solid. Everything is plumb and level. We got the hydraulic power unit mounted and all the hoses are hooked up. I need to tighten one fitting up behind that ram, which is kind of hard to get to, but everything else is tight. And I need to figure out why I have so much slack in this hose, but I'll get up there and tuck that away. But very close, and I've already got 220 single phase in the ceiling right there, presently coming to a welding outlet, but because I have another welding outlet over there, I don't need that one anymore, so I'm just gonna use that, run it across the ceiling and run it down, and then wire it up into this box, because 220 single phase is exactly what this thing runs off of. I hope it's single phase, yes, single phase 208 or 230. And this is still relatively full of fluid, and I have a little bit of extra, so here in not much time, I hope to have a working lift, so let's knock this stuff out. Well, it's official. We have a working 2-post lift, a 10,000-pound asymmetric car lift made by Forward. I believe it's a 97 model, but a few odds and ends to finish up, like this safety wire here. So this cable that goes across, you can see it wiggling. That is meant to interact with the roof of the car. So if the car gets raised up too far, it'll actually pull on this cable, which will pull on this safety pin here. Just switch in there, and that'll shut off the motor. And then I just have this long right now, this power cord, and it's not really secured, but once I get my taller ladder and I can get up in the ceiling and manage all that, I'll cut down the excess and secure it to the side and all that. But I just got this here for now. But the legs are on, so it's an asymmetric lift, meaning the legs are not equal length. So you've got that one and you've got that one. And so you can see the body of the car is actually gonna move back. The nice part about that is that on most lifts, when it's up on the lift, the car's up on the lift, you can't open the driver door. I believe on this setup, you are still able to open the driver door because the car is more rearward. And you can get away with that because the engine will be on this side. So on most cars, the bulk of the weight will be on this half. So everything remains fairly well balanced. But I got really good purchase on every single one of these bolts, so I'm not worried about that at all. And it just kisses the light, so eventually I might raise that light up. But it's nice when a car is here and the hood is open and I'm working on the engine, this light is right pretty much in the midline of the lift, which works out, so it'll be able to illuminate my project here. So yeah, bring on the automotive fab projects. There's some guys locally that that have been waiting for me to get this lift in here so I can do some custom exhaust work and whatnot. Corey, I'm talking to you if you still need some stuff done to your M3. But other than that, successful. Oh yeah, you guys probably want to hear it. Very quiet, nice and smooth. Those are the safety catches kicking in. One thing that's a little odd is these fittings kind of poke out a little more than I'd like. This one in particular, it's awful close. I'm gonna see if I can't rotate that in, but as it goes, you can see very, very close, but it's not touching. I just wish I could rotate this cylinder, and there may be a way I can clock this cylinder just a little bit. I need to see how it's attached. But anyway, you go up, 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 up. And then if you want to work under the car, you go up and you find the click, the highest click you can pass, like there, and then you press your release until everything goes down and stops. See, now it's stopped and it's not resting on the hydraulics, it's actually resting on some of these safety catches in here. So now if you wanted to bring the car back down, you actually raise it up a little bit more, like that. And then you come under here and you pull that safety catch and you pull that safety catch. And now it'll drop all the way back down. And without the weight of a car on them, they actually drop pretty slow. Sorry for the heater noise, by the way, but it is like 30 degrees outside and I am gonna keep that on. Granted, I probably could have turned it off for the sake of this video, but if you're watching this, you've probably already seen our comment response press conference video, and we've already addressed that, sorry. But very, very pleased with this lift. This well-maintained 1997 lift still works perfectly. The cables were in great shape. The hydraulics were in great shape. The hoses were in great shape. It was clearly very well maintained and kept in a controlled environment for its entire service life. So I'm excited to have this here. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this installation video, and I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you get subscribed to not only this channel, but Lift Art Garage. Lift Art Garage is where we will be posting all of our motorsports and automotive fabrication content. So make sure you check that out. Trying to populate it as I do things. You know, there's not a lot of drifting or work done on the drift car in the winter, but that's about to change now that I have a lift. I can go over the car, get some things ready for the new season, and then hit you guys hard with some more motorsports content come spring. So Lift Art Garage on YouTube. You're here on Lift Art Studios. Thank you for watching. My name's Tay. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.